So, are all the participants here, they are mentors, or there are some school students also here?
Ma'am, it's a combination. It's mentors and school
All
students.
right. And I would like you all, like this session to be interactive. I'm not just here to, give my speech. So anytime you feel you all want to contribute or have any queries, or you are most welcome to, just stop me in between and maybe raise your hand or something. So, like Varya just introduced, that today's topic is about waste recycling. Uh, we in India particularly, we all know that how we do not like to waste anything every time, and there are memes going on about this. We like to, squeeze our tube, toothpaste tube to the last bit. We want to make our towels into dusters or pochas and so on. And I think it's a great tradition, not something to be really made fun of or to be laughed about. But it's a great tradition that we do not want to waste. And what we have a very frugal way of living forever. In If you go back to your grandparents' days or something, you will notice that every little, they had a use for every thing that was left over. They would not throw away cans, they would not throw away bags. For everything there would be a place, and it would be taken out at the apt time to use again, which today we are calling recycling. That was part of our way of life, and we never felt embarrassed or ashamed out of it. I would now start sharing my screen because I have something here to show you all. So you see this slide? Can all of you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing is a waste. Would somebody like to join and interpret this for me? Are all of you familiar with this image? Do you know what this is? Anybody wants to pitch in? Okay, so this is a story about Draupadi and Krishna from Mahabharata, where Sri Krishna was visiting, and if we are all familiar with the story of Mahabharata, and we know that Pandavas at one point of time were living in a very modest manner when they were going, you know, traveling through the forests, and after losing everything to the Kauravas. And Sri Krishna happened to visit them when in one of their forest stays. And Draupadi was very worried that she had nothing to offer him, what to entertain her guest with. She went to the kitchen, she was looking in all her pots and pans, and then she found this one pot where there was just one grain of rice left. And she brought it to offer to Krishna, because according to our Indian tradition, we never turn away a guest, unfed. And Sri Krishna kept eating that one grain of rice, and he said, my all of my hunger is now satiated. So and like this is what our parents taught us also, no, when we were children, that do not waste food, do not throw away. Your plates must be clean when you finished your meal, nothing should be left in the plate. So with that kind of tradition, when we come into this modern age where there is so much materialism, there is so much abundance of food, and various choices in all kinds of lifestyle products, then what starts happening? Let's see. We have so much food, we go to parties, and then half of the food we are tending to throw away because we've filled so much. We can't eat all of it, and then we just leave it over. So, I mean, how to stop this wastage? I remember in the this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav event that happened, hosted by AIM at Ambedkar Bhavan. We had a whole session there where children and school children were contributing to ideas about how to stop wastage of food in parties. So there were many things that first we should learn to serve only as much as we can eat. One thing somebody suggested, we should not give too many options of items so that people have limited items to choose from, and then they will, select. So that is one way of, stopping. And we must be conscious that we should not waste food, because, you know, it's like gift of God to us. And if people pray before eating a meal that, God, thank you, God, for giving us this meal. So we should, never waste food. Then there is, of course, waste which cannot be avoided in food, all kinds of peels and vegetable waste. So that, of course, we can compost for recycling. Then we have abundance of designs and fashions today, so many clothes, garments, all kinds, and we forget what happens. For every occasion, we want a new attire, and once that is over, what happens to all of this? It becomes mountains, piles of mountains of wasted garments. And of course, you need space. No, every time there is waste, before that waste disintegrates and goes back to Mother Earth where it came from, it has to be piled up somewhere. What else piles up? We want our buildings, very fashionable, up to date, with the latest technology, latest material. So when we see new things coming up, then we break up old things, and again that also piles. We see, okay, there were old wooden doors and windows. Today we see there are shining aluminum doors, windows. There is glass. There is all kinds of fancy things, floor tiles, wall paneling, and we want all of the plush type of buildings, and we discard the old building materials, and then they also pile up. They occupy land space. Where will this go? How much land will we need to go on accumulating this waste? We are it is not easy to it's not easy, and it's not quick, this disintegration of waste. So taking out is much easier than giving back. You need wood, you cut trees. You need clothes, you cut cotton trees, you manufacture artificial clothes, fabric and everything. But once you discard it, doesn't immediately go to the earth. No, it takes thousands and millions of years. Now, out of all of this waste, right? See, so many kinds of waste. There is packaging now, because of this online shopping trend. There is so much packaging these days. Every time you order something online, there is cartons, there is plastic, in which the goods you've shopped come packed, boxes, paper bags, cans, cardboard packages, plastic containers, paper, all of this kind of waste, it goes on accumulating. We keep using and we keep throwing it away. And like we saw in the previous slides, all of this is piling up somewhere. And it is using a lot of precious land because population is increasing. We need more and more buildings of all kinds to house our population, to provide schools, hospitals, markets for them. So land is not easy these days. It's very precious. But if we are not controlling our use habits and waste generation habits, then all of this land is going to pile up and cause create a lot of landfill space. So should we recycle this? Of course, yes. We must recycle. Why we must recycle? Because if we are recycling that waste that we were piling up in some land, that landfill space will be saved. Then if we are not manufacturing fresh product every time, but using something which was already there and converting into items of fresh use, then there is less expenditure on extraction, production, and transportation of raw material. And all that burning of fuels or electrical energy, or the pollution from all that energy is also saved. Less energy is used because we are already using some material which was existing. We are not extracting from the scratch. And since we are producing from recycled material, then the cost of the finished product will be less. So there are multiple benefits of recycling the products. If we are recycling, we are not filling up precious land space. So there will be land space available for better uses. People who are involved in recycling of old products, they will get jobs. And since we will be buying cheaper recycled products, we will be making a lot of savings. Energy from production of materials, products will be saved. So more saving of energy and more saving of natural resources. So this is a very important aspect to understand, because life goes on. We will keep needing products, but should we always buy fresh products? And should we always throw what we have used? Now, you may ask that, how we can recycle, or there is another term these days for recycling. We are saying upcycling, where we are upcycling is something where the old product was used again for a newer, better purpose. So I'm going to now shift to the waste of plastic, because in our lives, lots of things are plastic today, made of plastic. And out of all the products, materials, plastic is something which is taking very, very long to disintegrate. And if we are able to recycle plastic, then we will greatly benefit from all these kinds of benefits of recycling. Plastic is the major concern. So let's understand the story of plastic. in 1950, we can see these are some data I collected. The production was 5 million tons, which after about 60 years increased to 70 times, 350 million tons. And out of this 350 million tons, 200 million tons alone is only single-use plastic, which means this just cannot be used again. And it is just thrown away immediately after use. Some plastics we are using for other purposes, but things like, you drink a cup of tea, a glass of water, a mineral water bottle, all these kinds of things, they are single-use plastics. And we just, throw them after a single use. So where is this going? Landfill spaces. There are all these types of plastics which we see on a day-to-day basis in our lives. I'm not going to go into too much into these definitions, but you're all familiar with these plastics which you see in different situations of life. From cans, baskets, buckets, bottles, utensils, baskets, all brushes, everywhere there is so much plastic of all these kinds in our lives. Furniture, dustbins of various sizes, baskets. And like we know that once we have used, something is broken, something is spoiled, we put it in our dustbins. From our dustbins, it goes into the municipal dustbins. And from there, the big, it's carried to these big landfill spaces and waiting, to be salvaged in due course. But the tragedy is that most of this plastic is not salvaged. It cannot be in our lifetimes. It takes almost 1,000 years for many of these plastics to disintegrate. What to do with all this? No, this is a very alarming figure. I see some message over here. Some students are saying I'm not audible. Is anybody else also facing this problem?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I'll continue. I don't know what to do because maybe there is some problem at their end if they are not able to hear, because everybody else is able to hear. Okay. So this is a very alarming situation, and we must think of solutions. This is nothing new, I'm sure. All the school students particularly are learning a lot about their mentors and from their teachers about the menace of wastes these days. And if all of us can get into projects, various kinds of projects, it's not necessary, and it's not practically possible also that everybody can think of all kinds of waste. But if we pick up just one particular category and we continue to our efforts into some projects which can recycle or upcycle those wastes, I'm sure we can contribute a lot by in the manner of, like I explained earlier, saving energy, saving land space, producing jobs, creating, saving on pollution, saving on energy. So there are all those benefits, and uh, we can't really go back to primitive times where there were not many choices. There we had limited to choose from, we had limited items, but today we have a choice. Still, we must learn to control our habits. Everybody knows reduce, reuse, recycle. So first you should try to control that. We must take only as much as uh, we have space for, because if our wardrobes become full, again we don't know where to keep those clothes, then we are throwing away. So let's first learn to reduce our choices. From all that is available, we should pick up only something that is only as much as is enough for us. That is first thing, whether it is food, whether it is clothes, whether it is any other lifestyle item. First thing is to try and reduce. Then once we have made a very wise, discreet choice of what we want to have, then after a certain period of use, then when the item becomes unusable, we can try, then we can try and think of recycling or upcycling the item rather than just throwing it away in the dustbin. And one thing I would like to again reiterate, that it's a great tradition of our country not to waste. And we should never be ashamed or embarrassed about that. In the West, they call, okay, these people are poor, they can't buy. But it's not that. We can buy, but we will buy very wisely. And we should be proud of that. Frugal is our tradition, it is nothing to be ashamed of. My slide is not moving. One moment. Yes. So, like here you can see tires, because all of us are very dependent on motorized transport these days. So continuously there are lots of tires coming out as waste. Now, if we can think of products which we can make out of these tires, so there is a complete industry which is researching and making products just out of tires. Like I said, if you pick up just one thing, that also can do bring about a great change. So this, when recycled, it can be broken up into these products. And see, there is a road being built out of this waste tire. So this is just one of the ways. Otherwise there can be other ways, like there can, I have seen uh, tires being filled with sands and cut into like building blocks like bricks, and tires kept over tire, they can make up a wall. That is also one way of using it. This is just another way. Then all of us are familiar with those planters made of tire tubes, where people are filling it with earth and growing plants into it. So it's just a matter of thinking and getting imaginative with what can be really done, and getting into the science of it. You can also start thinking at what it is made of, what it can be broken down to, and then what those broken down products can be reused as. Here we see these mineral water bottles. They are being filled with earth and being used as a building block like bricks. So, of course, when you do these kinds of things, there will be questions that, okay, how will I put maybe electrical wires in this wall, or maybe water pipelines in this wall. But the thing is, it's not impossible. If we try and work out ways, anything can be done. So maybe we can create a little gap in one of the row of walls, and all the pipelines can be laid, and we can continue with the bottle bricks over again. Then here you see what is happening. Plastic bags, they are being woven like ropes, and those ropes can be used as another, like here it is made into a skipping rope just for fun. Here those caps of bottles are stuck together with adhesive, and it has become like a pot. Here you can see it has been converted into a belt. That plastic bags, they are woven like ropes, and then ropes are stitched together. So even fashion items are made out of waste plastic. You know how to the extent people can get creative, only if they put their minds to it. You know, we have a great wealth of young uh, population in our country, and they have absolutely creative minds. Only thing, we need to channelize our imagination into more useful. See, I'm not uh, I'm strictly against, recycling just for as uh, as the, just as fashion, where people are converting, uh, making flowers or making just show pieces. But recycling really is more useful when we are not making only decoration items, but we are making items which can be actually used in lifestyle, in a day-to-day life. So and if we are using lifestyle products recycling, then we are really contributing, because then those items will not require fresh raw material. Here you see a bottle, how it was broken, and one has made a really beautiful packaging decoration with it. It's painted, cut, used a little heat to shape it, colored, and then made a beautiful packaging material with it. Can you identify what this is made of? Anyone? Mirror frames, beautiful mirror frames. Because
Yes,
if we
ma'am,
have,
I can. Ma'am, I can.
yes, tell me, please.
Ma'am, wooden spoons.
Wooden spoons, and there are hundreds of it. Every time there is a wedding party, there is wooden spoons, plastic spoons, mineral water bottles, cold drink bottles. They're thrown in thousands, hundreds. And if we can create utility items, it becomes so great. So you are really contributing in a positive way to stop from the menace of waste that is being uh, created on earth. And here you see there is a beautiful mobile case for charging mobile. You can some old shampoo bottles, it has been cut, and it becomes like a pocket for the mobile. You can hang it somewhere, because lots of times we face this problem na, mobile को रखे कहाँ चार्जिंग के समय, प्लग पॉइंट के आसपास अगर there is no table, so we don't know where to put our mobile. So we can just create little pockets like this, hang it somewhere next to the plug. Now here, this is a magazine and newspaper stand, simple bottles, nothing too fancy, but it has become a beautiful stand for keeping newspapers, magazines. More uses out of bottles. This is a bottle base cut and stuck together. And what is this? Who's going to tell me? School children? Keeping
Ma'am, a lamp. Ma'am,
lampshade, yeah, beautiful lampshade. And this is made of
Plastic bottle.
plastic spoons, plastic bottles. See, plastic spoons. The arm of the spoon is removed and just this part, it's stuck together over another plastic container, and it becomes a beautiful, again, lampshade. This becomes, for our beautiful girls, this becomes a jewelry case. All the bottle bases, they've been piled up it's like a tower for keeping your little trinkets. See, here we have gone one step ahead when we are utilizing this for expensive things. Now you go and buy this kind of a thing from market. The cheapest one will be around 1,000 rupee or something. But here what you've done, you've just taken these bottles, filled them up with something heavy, and put a little base, wrap them around with plastic and foam, and this becomes a beautiful poof to sit on. And I mean, in a few months only, I think in 2-3 months, every household has these number of bottles in the form of cold drinks you are serving to guests or something. Then this is again a little hanging planter over here, again made of cold drink or mineral water bottle. This who will identify this? What's this made of? This on the top right corner.
ma'am, tapes and all.
Ropes.
Ma'am,
These are
sellotape.
plastic bags, no?
Plastic
Jisme phal sabzi every day your mom may be getting. So many colorful bags are there. So you make ropes of them, weave them together, and it becomes again a little seat to sit on. Fill them inside again, maybe with waste cloths. Every time you grow up, you outgrow of your old clothes, fill them inside, make a little bundle out of them, weave some nice ropes around them, and it becomes seats to sit on, baskets, curtains. See, this is a curtain made of bottle caps and little pieces of plastics. So it's nothing, and this is nothing like rocket science. It's so easy. It's only that you got conscious that no, I don't want to throw away these so many bags. I don't want to throw away so many plastic bottles. I do not want to throw away so many plastic spoons. And I want to convert them into something which people can use, really usefully, and which otherwise they might go to the market and buy, spending a lot of money. These are utility items which everyone needs in their households. So why not convert? And each of them could be, converted into an industry in itself, because not everybody has time to, collect your plastic bags and start making things out of it. So if you make it your business that, okay, in this locality, all the plastic bags from every household I'm going to collect. So you will have so much raw material from free, which people are just throwing away, that you collect, process it according to your requirement, clean it, process it, and then you have raw material from free, and you can create an industry out of it. People will start buying because your raw material was free, so your finished product will have very less cost, and you can start selling it, make an industry out of it. Now, who will identify what this chair is made of?
Ma'am, tires.
Ma'am, it is made up of cork, the first one.
Yes. The next one is, yes, somebody said tires very correctly. And this last one, just bottles piled up together. Tie them in a, and here again, bottle cans, cold drink cans, or water cans. Hmm? Now these are doormats made of. See, इधर लिखा भी हुआ है, recycled t-shirt rug. तो टी-शर्ट्स तो सब लोग पहनते हैं.
Yes, ma'am.
प्रॉब्लम इज वो पहनने के कुछ समय बाद वो आउट ऑफ शेप हो जाती है, फेड हो जाती है, एंड देन वी डोंट लाइक टू वेयर इट. So cut strips out of it, make braids out of it, stitch those braids together round and round and round, and you get this beautiful floor mat. An ordinary wall, it has been converted into such a beautiful wall by sticking those all types of caps of cans of different colors. Just simple screwing on the wall, and this has become such a beautiful wall. More decoration on the wall out of waste. So you don't need fancy expensive materials if you want beauty around it. There is a lot of waste lying around you, which you can utilize beautifully to, create so much beauty around you. This is a canopy. See, कार पार्किंग हमेशा हमको लगता है इट इज धूप लग रही है, कार में गर्म हो जाएगी, कैसे बैठेंगे, and somebody has spent their mind and made a beautiful canopy in free. Just the cost of the frame, no cost for the cover. It is all waste bottles which were lying somewhere, going to fill up land or creating mountains of waste, but somebody was smart enough to create a canopy for themselves. Here somebody is, boating on wasted bottles. They just joined together and made a boat. Because they are empty bottles, they'll always float. So all you need to is join them in the right manner. It becomes a boat. Free boat, just with very basic minimum cost. Some base you will need to stick your bottles on, and you have a boat ready for you. There are so many kinds of planters you can make of wasted bottles. All the bottles tied up together, fill them in between, and you have beautiful planters. Here you have beautiful little chairs. They will be so lightweight and they are practically free. Again, here you have those colorful shopping bags. You cut strips out of them and make a beautiful purse out of it. Here, waste bin itself is created out of wasted bottles. Here you can see ropes made of wasted plastic bags. Can somebody guess what this earring is made of?
And paper.
It's plastic again, because paper will wear out. This will not wear out. Just take a thin band of plastic, twist it around, roll it, stick it, and you have an earring base. Only you need the hook and maybe a little bead for decoration. These are pieces of cold drink bottles. You know, they hang them on a chain. It becomes a beautiful necklace. These plastics again, stick them on an old bangle. You have a new bangle to wear, and people will ask you, "Kahan se liya?" Don't tell them. Here, old shampoo or bath gel bottles, they've converted into pen stands. And like in the previous slide, you saw that mobile case was made out of a bottle. So there are some more uses of these bottles. Here you see, just stack the old books together. Nobody, you've read them, nobody needs them anymore. So just stack them together, it becomes a bench. Tie with a belt around, and you have a bench. This is, you know, a little plastic seat, and over that you stack the books, put a cushion, belt them around. Here you have rolls of paper which were stuck together, and it becomes a beautiful decoration for a planter. Yeah, so that's about it for now. The idea of this session today, it's not like we can teach you something to do within this short time, but the whole idea is that we should get conscious that, you know, how waste can be, how first thing we can try and reduce waste, and then there are things which cannot be avoided. There will be some waste, so how not to just create piles of it on landfills, but how to make utility items of it. And some of those utility items can also be a startup industry, which you can sell around for low cost and benefit a lot of people who cannot buy more expensive products. For them it will, and you will also benefit people, because if you are going into a product industry, you will not be doing it single-handedly, which means you will be creating jobs for people. There will be people who will be collecting waste for you. There will be people who will be manufacturing out of the waste. So you will be actually able to create jobs for people and create products for lower cost, which people with less affordability can buy. So upcycling waste is a very socially useful endeavor, which I think as young people, you can start thinking about it when you are in a more capable position to start thinking of not really, passing school, taking a degree and then looking for a job, but create small industries like this with the lower cost for people with less affordability, so that you are able to benefit the society largely. So that's it from me. Thank you everyone for listening to me. I'm very happy to share this. It's not that I have created all these products. I keep searching and I found these pictures. I thought I could inspire some of you.